Whisper 29 here. Decided to make a fact video talking about the solar system. No real reason. Just quite like a man called Brian Cox, who is TV. He's become a TV presenter, but he's also a scientist. He's a professor or doctor. Dr. Brian Cox, Professor. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna do a fact video about the solar system for you. I've got 2 lots of facts. I haven't read through them already. So some of them might be the same on the 2 pages. If they are, I do apologise. And I am at the moment on my own, but I might get distracted or interrupted by Blake at some point. He might come in because I've just come to bed and I've just let him in so I can lock up. So he might randomly come in at some point, but he might just sit at the end of the bed. He might come up here for a hug and a bit of a cuddle, so I don't know yet, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm just going to give you some facts. I've no idea how long it will last, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Does anything matter? But that's a different subject. Nothing matters. Anyway, right, let's get started. Okay, so a few facts about the solar system for you. Some of them you might already know, some of them you might not, but let's find out. Number 1. The solar system has only 8 planets. Not the 9 you grew up with. That's because the International Astronomical Union reclassified Pluto as a dwarf planet in 2006. Why is Pluto not a planet? To qualify as a planet, an object needs to orbit the Sun, have enough mass to pull itself into a spherical shape, and have cleared out its orbit of other material. It's this third requirement that Pluto hasn't fulfilled. It's just a fraction of the mass in its orbit, while the other planets are millions of times more massive than everything else in their orbits. You may want to read more about the 10 facts on Pluto, which I'm not going to do. Number 2. The solar system has 4 dwarf planets. Let's try this side. Pluto has been downgraded, but there are now 4 dwarf planets in the solar system. I could try and pronounce them: Ceres, Pluto, Eris, and Makemake, or Makemake. Not too sure. Dwarf planets are objects that orbit the Sun and have enough mass to form a sphere, but they share their orbit with other objects. And as telescopes improve, more dwarf planets will be discovered. There might eventually be more dwarf planets than planets. See how much you already knew about our solar system. Number 3. Oh, Blake's in. He's walking over the bubble wrap. He's being a bit noisy. Number 3. The influence of the solar system extends out for almost 2 light years. The theoretical size of the solar system goes out as far as the Sun's gravity overpowers anything else in the region. He's on my bed. Sorry, Blake just jumped on my bed. And this is almost 2 light years away, nearly halfway to the nearest star. It's thought that the Oort cloud, a region where the long period comets come from, extends out to 100,000 astronomical units from the Sun. 1 astronomical unit is the average distance from the Earth to the Sun. Number 4. Most of the mass of the solar system is the Sun. In fact, the Sun contains 99.86% of the mass in the solar system. Sorry, hold on. I got some Blake on my bed, and I'm using a torch because my light is broken, so I'm having to light myself up with a torch. I'll start that again. Most of the mass mass of the solar system is the Sun. The Sun contains 99.86% of the mass in the solar system, and the Sun is 73% hydrogen. So most of the matter in the solar system is hydrogen, with the remaining amount being mostly helium, oxygen and carbon. Everything else, like the metals and rocks, is just a tiny fraction of the mass in the solar system. Number 5. The solar system is 4.6 billion years old. Since the Earth is constantly resurfacing itself, we can't find out how old it is, but there's another way to find out. Meteorites, which date back to the formation of the solar system, have been raining down on Earth for millions of years. Scientists have sampled meteorites and learned that they are all 4.6 billion years old. That means that everything in the solar system formed around the same time, give or take a few million years. Number 6. Everything orbits in the same direction. All the objects in the solar system orbit the Sun in a counterclockwise direction. This matches the theory that the solar system formed all at once from a cool cloud of hydrogen. As the gas came together, it began to spin, so that the Sun collected in the middle, surrounded by an accretion disk of gas and dust. All the planets and other material in the solar system formed within this rotating disk. There are a few exceptions, however, like Halley's Comet, I think that is. Number 7. The Sun is just one star in 200 billion in the Milky Way. Doesn't that give you some perspective? Our whole world is just one planet orbiting one star in a galaxy of 200 billion stars. So if there's 200 billion stars, think how many other planets there could be, and what they would look like, and what they home, and the possibility of life on a different planet. There's got to be some form of life on another planet. We just haven't got the technology to discover it. Number 8. But they are really far apart. There are only a few stars within 10 light years of the Sun. The closest system is the Alpha Centauri system, 4.4 light years away. Bernard's star is 5.9 light years away, and then Wolf 359, which is 7.8 light years. Lalande 21185, which is 8.3 light years. Sirius, which is, I believe, one of the giant planets. Oh no, this is system, sorry. Oh, I don't know. Sirius is 8.6 light years. Luton 726-8 is 8.7 light years. And finally Ross 154 at 9.7 light years away. Interstellar travel will be difficult when you're dealing with these distances. Number 9. Astronomers used to think the Earth was the centre. I knew that already. But it's easy to see how they did, to be honest. Before we had technology, it's easy to see how they thought the Earth was flat and how they thought we were the centre of the solar system. I can understand that. You take it for granted that the Sun is the centre of the solar system, but astronomers used to think that the Earth was the centre of the entire universe. It wasn't until the 17th century when Nicolaus Copernicus first presented the concept and showed how it accurately predicts the position of the planets. And number 10. Humans have sent spacecraft almost everywhere. Really? Spacecraft from Earth have visited or orbited every planet in the solar system, and more are on their way to visit some of the dwarf planets. We've explored the Sun, the Moon, and many asteroids, and now some of the oldest spacecraft still active, NASA's Voyager spacecraft, have almost reached the Sun's heliosphere, the point where the solar wind slows as it bumps against the stellar wind. So it hasn't been everywhere, but it's been nearly everywhere in our solar system, which is believable. Sorry, my neck's starting to hurt. Okay, and there's some more facts about the solar system, which from planets to wander. This was to distinguish them from other stars which they assumed were fixed. And we now know the planets and the Sun were born from the same event, an act of cosmic recycling that took place 4.6 billion years ago, when a collapsing star or supernova sent a massive sonic boom through a 15 billion mile wide cloud of space dust. It's a pretty big cloud of dust. The centre of that collapse became the Sun. The rest, forced outwards by gravity, clumped together to form planets, moons, and asteroids. Planet Dave, or Dave. There are 8 planets in our solar system, and at least 5 dwarf planets, which I mentioned earlier. But they've got different ones here. They've got Ceres, Pluto, Haumea, Makey, and Eris, and 535,000 registered minor planets, 3,000 of which of these are registered each month. There may be almost 2 million such bodies with diameters of over a kilometre, which has led to some ludicrous naming solutions. For example, there are 10 minor planets called Dave. There's Dave Bracey, Dave Bryn, Dave Higgins, Dave McKay, Dave Monet, Dave Pearce, Dave Ross, Dave Turner, and Dave Williams. It's a bit weird. Planet Probe. As well as landing on the Earth's moon, human-directed probes have landed on Mars and Venus, parachuted into Jupiter's atmosphere, touched down on Titan, Saturn's moon, and visited asteroids and the comet Tempel 1. Wherever we have gone, we have found the same elements as on Earth, but sometimes in radically different forms. Planet Heavy. Jupiter's immense mass means atoms don't behave in the same way as they do elsewhere. Despite being a gas giant, Jupiter is almost big enough and hot enough to be a star. 10 times greater, and it would have reached the level of brown dwarf, the low-energy light bulb of the stellar family. So, although it isn't able to fuse elements together like the core of the Sun, it is dense enough to create a 27,000-mile thick layer of black liquid hydrogen, and diamonds that are literally as big as the Ritz, and to precipitate neon instead of water out of its atmosphere to create brilliant red neon rain. Wow, imagine that. Planet Handles. Saturn's rings stretch from 4,000 to 75,000 miles above the planet's equator, but in most places they're no thicker than 30 feet. 93% of the rings are made from frozen particles of water, between half an inch and 30 foot in diameter, and 7% are particles of amorphous carbon and other trace compounds. No one is sure whether the rings were created as part of the process of forming the planet or as a result of an impact from a large moon. Galileo Galilei, 1564 to 1642, didn't have a telescope powerful enough to see them as rings, so referred to them as handles or ears. Planet Butterscotch. On Mercury, the days are twice as long as the years. The planet takes 87.97 Earth days to orbit once around the Sun, but rotates very slowly on its axis. This means that one full year of daytime is followed by one full year of night. From the floor of Mercury, the sky looks butterscotch in colour because there is a permanent haze of dust which is kicked up by sandstorms, and there is very little atmosphere to scatter light. Planet George. Sorry. When William Herschel first discovered Uranus, he wanted to call it George, or more specifically Georgium Sidus, the Georgian planet, after King George III. The element uranium is named after it. Planet Cairo. Cairo is Arabic for Mars. The city was named so because the planet was rising on the day the city was founded. And that is it, I'm afraid. Lots of facts about the solar system. Hope you enjoyed. now going to make another video, which is just interesting facts, but there are 327, so I'm not going to do all of them, but I'm going to do as many until I feel